Question 1. Who was the first Plantagenet King of England? A. Edward III. B. Richard II. C. Henry II. D. John. Answer. C. Henry II. Henry II was the first Plantagenet King of England, reigning from 1154 to 1189. Question 2. What was the primary reason for the signing of the Treaty of Union in 1707? A. To end the War of the Spanish Succession. B. To establish a single market for England and Scotland. C. To create the United Kingdom by politically uniting England and Scotland. D. To combat the French influence in Europe. Answer. C. To create the United Kingdom by politically uniting England and Scotland. The Treaty of Union in 1707 united the parliaments of England and Scotland, forming the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 3. Which British monarchs successfully established the first permanent English settlement in the Americas, and in what year? A. Elizabeth I in 1585. B. James I in 1607. C. Henry VII in 1497. D. Charles II in 1660. Answer. B. James I in 1607. Under the reign of James I, the first permanent English settlement was established in the Americas at Jamestown, Virginia in 1607. Question 4. Name the battle that concluded the Wars of the Roses in 1485. A. The Battle of Bosworth Field. B. The Battle of Towton. C. The Battle of Agincourt. D. The Battle of Tewkesbury. Answer. A. The Battle of Bosworth Field. The Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485 concluded the Wars of the Roses, leading to Henry Tudor, Henry VII, becoming king. Question 5. Who was the Prime Minister when the UK first joined the European Economic Community? A. Winston Churchill. B. Harold Wilson. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. Edward Heath. Answer. D. Edward Heath. Edward Heath was Prime Minister when the UK joined the European Economic Community in 1973. Question 6. What ancient British law code was compiled during the reign of King Aethelbert of Kent? A. The Danelaw. B. The Code of Aethelbert. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Laws of Alfred the Great. Answer. B. The Code of Aethelbert. The Code of Aethelbert is one of the earliest known sets of laws in English history, compiled during the reign of King Aethelbert of Kent. Question 7. Which invention by James Watt revolutionized the Industrial Revolution? A. The steam engine. B. The spinning jenny. C. The cotton gin. D. The telegraph. Answer. A. The steam engine. James Watt's improvements to the steam engine in the late 18th century significantly propelled the Industrial Revolution. Question 8. Who was the first British monarch of the House of Hanover? A. George I. B. Victoria. C. Elizabeth I. D. James I. Answer. A. George I. George I, who ascended to the throne in 1714, was the first British monarch of the House of Hanover. Question 9. In what year did the Great Frost, one of the most severe winters in British history, take place? A. 1066, B. 1408, C. 1709, D. 1814. Answer: C. 1709. The Great Frost of 1709 was one of the coldest winters in Europe and British history, causing widespread hardship. Question 10. What treaty ended the First Anglo-Dutch War in 1654? A. The Treaty of Breda, B. The Treaty of Westminster, C. The Peace of Utrecht, D. The Treaty of Paris. Answer: B. The Treaty of Westminster. The Treaty of Westminster, signed in 1654, ended the First Anglo-Dutch War. Question 11. Who is credited with composing Rule Britannia? A. Edward Elgar, B. George Frederick Handel, C. Thomas Arne, D. William Byrd. Answer: C. Thomas Arne. Thomas Arne composed the music for Rule Britannia for a masque in 1740. Question 12. During which king's reign was the Magna Carta originally signed? A. Edward I, B. John, C. Richard I, D. Henry II. Answer: B. John. King John signed the Magna Carta in 1215, establishing fundamental legal principles. Question 13. Name the ship that Charles Darwin sailed on during his voyage to the Galapagos Islands. A. HMS Beagle, B. HMS Endeavour, C. HMS Bounty, D. HMS Victory. Answer: A. HMS Beagle. Charles Darwin sailed on HMS Beagle during his voyage to the Galapagos Islands, leading to his theory of natural selection. Question 14. What was the original purpose of the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, established in 1675? A. To serve as a royal palace, B. To study the plague, C. To improve naval navigation, D. To observe the transit of Venus. Answer: C. To improve naval navigation. The Royal Observatory was established to improve naval navigation by providing accurate measurements of the positions of stars and the movement of the Earth. Question 15. Which Act of Parliament in 1536 began the legal union of England and Wales? A. The Act of Union 1536, B. The Laws in Wales Acts, C. The Magna Carta, D. The Statute of Rhuddlan. Answer: A. The Act of Union 1536. The Act of Union in 1536 began the process of legally uniting England and Wales under a single system of government. Question 16. Who led the English defence against the Spanish Armada in 1588? A. Sir Walter Raleigh, B. Sir Francis Drake, C. Sir John Hawkins, D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Sir Francis Drake, Sir John Hawkins, and Sir Walter Raleigh all played significant roles in the defence against the Spanish Armada in 1588. Question 17. What is the name of the first English child born in the Americas in 1587? A. John White, B. Virginia Dare. C. Elizabeth Raleigh. D. Roanoke Smith. Answer: B. Virginia Dare. Virginia Dare was the first English child born in the Roanoke colony in the Americas in 1587. Question 18. Who was the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Winston Churchill. C. Harold Wilson. D. Robert Walpole. Answer: A. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century, in office from 1979 to 1990. Question 19. In which Battle of 1314 did Robert the Bruce secure Scottish independence from England? A. The Battle of Falkirk. B. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. D. The Battle of Culloden. Answer: C. The Battle of Bannockburn. Robert the Bruce secured Scottish independence from England at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. Question 20. Who wrote the influential economic treatise The Wealth of Nations in 1776? A. John Locke. B. Adam Smith. C. Karl Marx. D. Thomas Malthus. Answer: B. Adam Smith. Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations in 1776, laying the foundations for classical economics. Question 21. What event, starting in 1348, led to the death of a third of England's population? A. The Great Fire of London. B. The English Civil War. C. The Black Death. D. The Glorious Revolution. Answer: C. The Black Death. The Black Death, beginning in 1348, was a devastating pandemic that led to the death of a third of England's population. Question 22. Who was the British Foreign Secretary that oversaw the signing of the Treaty of Versailles? A. Winston Churchill. B. Arthur Balfour. C. David Lloyd George. D. George Curzon. Answer: C. David Lloyd George. Though primarily the Prime Minister at the time, David Lloyd George played a crucial role in the negotiations and signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. Question 23. What was the name of the movement in the 19th century that advocated for the extension of the right to vote to working men? A. The Chartist movement. B. The Suffragette movement. C. The Labour movement. D. The Reformist movement. Answer: A. The Chartist movement. The Chartist movement, active in the 19th century, sought political reforms, including the extension of the right to vote to all working men. Question 24. Name the 19th century British Queen Consort known for her support of the abolition of the slave trade. A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Mary. C. Queen Elizabeth. D. Queen Adelaide. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. While Queen Victoria expressed opposition to slavery, it was actually abolished in the British Empire before her reign. In 1833, her consort, Prince Albert, was known for his progressive views, but the abolition movement had prominent supporters like William Wilberforce and others. Question 25. Who invented the World Wide Web in 1989, and where was he working at the time? A. Alan Turing at Bletchley Park. B. Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. C. Bill Gates at Microsoft. D. Steve Jobs at Apple. Answer B. Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. Tim Berners-Lee, working at CERN, invented the World Wide Web in 1989, revolutionizing information sharing and communication. Question 26. Which medieval English king was known as Lionheart? A. Richard I. B. Edward I. C. Henry II. D. John. Answer A. Richard I. Richard I of England, known as Richard the Lionheart, reigned from 1189 to 1199 and was celebrated for his military leadership and role in the Third Crusade. Question 27. What year did the Bank of England issue its first banknotes? A. 1694. B. 1695. C. 1725. D. 1780. Answer B. 1695. The Bank of England, established in 1694, issued its first banknotes in 1695. Question 28. Who was the first female police officer in the UK with full power of arrest? A. Edith Smith. B. Mary Allen. C. Lillian Wiles. D. Cressida Dick. Answer A. Edith Smith. Edith Smith became the first female police officer in the UK with full power of arrest in 1915. Question 29. What historic event is commemorated by Bonfire Night on November 5th? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The Battle of Britain. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The coronation of Elizabeth II. Answer C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Bonfire Night, or Guy Fawkes Night, commemorates the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot, an attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605. Question 30. Which British explorer was the first European to encounter the eastern coastline of Australia? A. James Cook. B. Walter Raleigh. C. Francis Drake. D. John Cabot. Answer A. James Cook. Captain James Cook was the first European to encounter the eastern coastline of Australia during his first Pacific voyage in 1770. Question 31. Name the conflict that was fought between the houses of Lancaster and York. A. The 100 Years' War. B. The War of the Roses. C. The English Civil War. D. The Glorious Revolution. Answer B. The War of the Roses. The War of the Roses was a series of civil wars fought between the houses of Lancaster and York for control with the English throne. Question 32. What was the significant result of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. B. It was a decisive British victory that prevented a German invasion. C. It resulted in Britain losing control over its colonies. D. It led to the abdication of the British monarch. Answer B. It was a decisive British victory that prevented a German invasion. The Battle of Britain in 1940 saw the Royal Air Force defend the UK against large-scale attacks by Nazi Germany's Air Force, the Luftwaffe. Question 33. Who was the only British Prime Minister to be assassinated, and in what year? A. Spencer Perceval, 1812. B. William Pitt, 1806. C. Margaret Thatcher, 1990. D. Winston Churchill, 1945. Answer: A. Spencer Perceval, 1812. Spencer Perceval is the only British Prime Minister to have been assassinated. He was killed in 1812. Question 34. Which two British scientists discovered the structure of DNA in 1953? A. Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. B. Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins. C. James Watson and Francis Crick. D. Charles Darwin and Gregor Mendel. Answer: C. James Watson and Francis Crick. James Watson and Francis Crick, working at Cambridge University, discovered the double helix structure of DNA in 1953, with significant contributions from Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins. Question 35. What year marked the repeal of the Corn Laws? A. 1776. B. 1815. C. 1846. D. 1867. Answer: C. 1846. The Corn Laws were repealed in 1846, marking a significant shift towards free trade in Britain. Question 36. Name the law that officially ended the authority of the Pope in England in 1534. A. The Act of Supremacy. B. The Act of Settlement. C. The Magna Carta. D. The English Bill of Rights. Answer: A. The Act of Supremacy. The Act of Supremacy in 1534 declared King Henry VIII the supreme head of the Church of England, effectively ending the Pope's authority in England. Question 37. What devastating events struck London in 1665 preceding the Great Fire? A. The Great Plague. B. The English Civil War. C. The Viking Invasion. D. The Glorious Revolution. Answer: A. The Great Plague. The Great Plague of London in 1665 was a major outbreak of the bubonic plague that preceded the Great Fire of 1666. Question 38. Name the first woman to be elected into the House of Commons, though she did not take a seat. A. Nancy Astor. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Constance Markievicz. D. Barbara Castle. Answer: C. Constance Markievicz. Constance Markievicz was elected to the House of Commons in 1918, but did not take a seat, in line with Sinn Féin's abstentionist policy. Question 39. Who is considered the founder of the British Navy? A. Henry VIII. B. Elizabeth I. C. Francis Drake. D. Winston Churchill. Answer: A. Henry VIII. Henry VIII is often credited as the founder of the British Navy, significantly expanding and organizing it into a powerful force. Question 40. In what year was the Battle of Culloden, the last pitched battle fought on British soil? A. 1314. B. 1485. C. 1746. D. 1815. Answer: C. 1746. The Battle of Culloden in 1746 was the last pitched battle fought on British soil, marking the end of the Jacobite Rising of 1745. Question 41. What document, signed in 1701, ensured the Protestant succession to the English throne? A. The Magna Carta. B. The Act of Settlement. C. The Bill of Rights. D. The Act of Union. Answer: B. The Act of Settlement. The Act of Settlement in 1701 ensured the Protestant succession to the English throne, addressing the succession crisis and stipulating that only Protestants could inherit the crown. Question 42. Who was the first British Prime Minister of the newly formed United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801? A. William Pitt the Younger. B. Sir Robert Walpole. C. Henry Addington. D. William Gladstone. Answer: A. William Pitt the Younger. William Pitt the Younger was the Prime Minister at the time the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland was formed in 1801, although he resigned the same year and was succeeded by Henry Addington. Question 43. What pivotal invention by John Kay in 1733 revolutionized the cotton industry? A. The spinning jenny. B. The power loom. C. The flying shuttle. D. The cotton gin. Answer: C. The flying shuttle. John Kay's invention of the flying shuttle in 1733 significantly sped up the weaving process, revolutionizing the cotton industry. Question 44. Who was known as the Maid of Orleans and opposed English forces during the 100 Years' War? A. Eleanor of Aquitaine. B. Joan of Arc. C. Mary, Queen of Scots. D. Elizabeth I. Answer: B. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, known as the Maid of Orleans, played a pivotal role in opposing English forces during the 100 Years' War and led the French army to several important victories. Question 45. What treaty in 1921 established the Irish Free State? A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. C. The Treaty of Paris. D. The Good Friday Agreement. Answer: B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. The Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921 established the Irish Free State, ending the Irish War of Independence and partitioning Ireland. Question 46. Which King of England was deposed in the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. James II. B. Charles II. C. Edward II. D. Henry VI. Answer: A. James II. James II was deposed during the Glorious Revolution of 1688, which saw William of Orange take the throne in a bloodless coup. Question 47. Who was the English author of Utopia, published in 1516? A. Geoffrey Chaucer. B. William Shakespeare. C. Thomas More. D. John Milton. Answer: C. Thomas More. Sir Thomas More wrote Utopia, a work of fiction and political philosophy, published in 1516. Question 48. Name the Viking leader who became the first Dane to be crowned King of England. A. Sweyn Forkbeard. B. Not the Great. C. Harold Hardrada. D. Leif Erikson. Answer B. Not the Great. Not the Great became King of England in 1016 after the successful Danish invasion and was the first Dane to be crowned king. Question 49. Which English monarch first established the Yeoman of the Guard? A. Henry VII. B. Elizabeth I. C. Henry VIII. D. James I. Answer A. Henry VII. Henry VII established the Yeoman of the Guard, the oldest royal bodyguard in England, in 1485. Question 50. What is the name of the philosopher who wrote 2 treatises of government advocating the social contract theory? A. Thomas Hobbes. B. John Locke. C. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. D. Adam Smith. Answer B. John Locke. John Locke wrote 2 treatises of government, where he developed the theory of the social contract and advocated for the protection of individual rights. Question 51. In which year did the Peasants' Revolt take place, and who was the king at the time? A. 1381, Richard II. B. 1455, Henry VI. C. 1642, Charles I. D. 1215, John. Answer A. 1381, Richard II. The Peasants' Revolt took place in 1381 during the reign of Richard II. Question 52. What groundbreaking Public Health Act was passed in 1848 in response to cholera outbreaks? A. The Sanitary Act. B. The Public Health Act. C. The Clean Air Act. D. The Health and Morals of Apprentices Act. Answer B. The Public Health Act. The Public Health Act of 1848 was passed in response to public health issues, including cholera outbreaks, marking the beginning of state intervention in public health in Britain. Question 53. Name the treaty that ended the War of Spanish Succession in 1713. A. The Treaty of Utrecht. B. The Treaty of Westphalia. C. The Treaty of Versailles. D. The Treaty of Tordesillas. Answer A. The Treaty of Utrecht. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713 ended the War of Spanish Succession, leading to a redistribution of power and territories among European monarchies. Question 54. Who was the first Roman emperor to claim Britain as part of the Roman Empire? A. Julius Caesar. B. Augustus. C. Claudius. D. Nero. Answer C. Claudius. Emperor Claudius claimed Britain as part of the Roman Empire after the successful invasion in 43 AD. Question 55. What English law, passed in 1601, laid the foundations for the modern welfare state? A. The Poor Law. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Elizabethan Religious Settlement. D. The Act of Supremacy. Answer A. The Poor Law. The Poor Law of 1601 established a system for providing relief to the poor, a foundational element of the modern welfare state. Question 56. Which British monarch issued the Proclamation of 1763 limiting colonial expansion in North America? A. George III. B. Elizabeth I. C. Victoria. D. James I. Answer A. George III. King George III issued the Proclamation of 1763, limiting British colonial expansion westward into Native American territories in North America. Question 57. Name the battle where William Wallace defeated an English army in 1297. A. The Battle of Falkirk. B. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. D. The Battle of Culloden. Answer B. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. William Wallace defeated an English army at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297 during the First War of Scottish Independence. Question 58. What was the primary reason for Henry VIII's break with the Catholic Church? A. Disputes over church doctrine. B. The Pope's refusal to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. C. Political alignment with Protestant nations. D. Desire to establish a national church. Answer B. The Pope's refusal to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. Henry VIII's desire for an annulment led to the break with the Catholic Church and the establishment of the Church of England. Question 59. Who was the female ruler of the Iceni tribe who led an uprising against Roman occupation? A. Boadicea. B. Cartimandua. C. Aethelflaed. D. Eadbert. Answer A. Boadicea. Boadicea or Boudica was the queen of the Iceni tribe who led a major uprising against the occupying Roman forces in Britain. Question 60. What was the purpose of the Statute of Labourers enacted in 1351? A. To encourage labour mobility. B. To set maximum wages and combat labour shortage following the Black Death. C. To abolish serfdom. D. To establish the first trade unions. Answer B. To set maximum wages and combat labour shortage following the Black Death. The Statute of Labourers was enacted to regulate wages and address labour shortages after the Black Death. Question 61. Which British ruler was known as the Merry Monarch? A. Charles II. B. James I. C. Edward VII. D. Henry V. Answer A. Charles II. Charles II was known as the Merry Monarch for his lively and indulgent reign after the Puritan rule of Oliver Cromwell. Question 62. Name the first British colony in the Caribbean, claimed in 1624. A. Jamaica. B. Barbados. C. Trinidad and Tobago. D. St. Kitts. Answer D. St. Kitts. St. Kitts was the first British colony in the Caribbean, claimed in 1624. Question 63. What pivotal legal document did Oliver Cromwell establish during the interregnum? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Instrument of Government. D. The Commonwealth Charter. Answer C. The Instrument of Government. The Instrument of Government, established during Oliver Cromwell's rule, was the first written constitution in England. Question 64. Which disease was eradicated from the UK in 1982 thanks to vaccination efforts? A. Smallpox. B. Polio. C. Measles. D. Tuberculosis. Answer: B. Polio. Polio was effectively eradicated from the UK in 1982 as a result of comprehensive vaccination efforts. Question 65. What was the primary export of the British colonies in the Caribbean in the 18th century? A. Cotton. B. Tobacco. C. Sugar. D. Tea. Answer: C. Sugar. Sugar became the primary export of the British colonies in the Caribbean during the 18th century. Question 66. Who was the last monarch of the House of Stuart? A. Anne. B. Charles II. C. James II. D. Mary II. Answer: A. Anne. Queen Anne was the last monarch of the House of Stuart, reigning until 1714. Question 67. What event did the Tolpuddle martyrs in 1834 protest against? A. Child labour. B. Poor working conditions. C. Reduction in agricultural wages. D. The Corn Laws. Answer: C. Reduction in agricultural wages. The Tolpuddle martyrs were farm labourers who protested against the reduction in agricultural wages in 1834. Question 68. In what year was the Slavery Abolition Act, abolishing slavery throughout the British Empire, enacted? A. 1776. B. 1807. C. 1833. D. 1865. Answer: C. 1833. The Slavery Abolition Act was enacted in 1833, abolishing slavery throughout the British Empire. Question 69. Who composed Jerusalem, considered England's unofficial national anthem? A. Edward Elgar. B. Gustav Holst. C. Hubert Parry. D. Ralph Vaughan Williams. Answer: C. Hubert Parry. Hubert Parry composed the music for Jerusalem, with lyrics by William Blake, considered by many as England's unofficial national anthem. Question 70. What was the official reason given for the execution of Mary, Queen of Scots, by Elizabeth I? A. Her Catholic faith. B. Alleged involvement in a plot to assassinate Elizabeth I. C. Refusal to renounce her claim to the English throne. D. Support for the Spanish Armada. Answer: B. Alleged involvement in a plot to assassinate Elizabeth I. Mary, Queen of Scots, was executed after being implicated in the Babington Plot, a plan to assassinate Elizabeth I and place Mary on the English throne. Question 71. Name the Act that merged the kingdoms of England and Scotland in 1707. A. The Act of Settlement. B. The Act of Union. C. The Royal Charter. D. The Magna Carta. Answer: B. The Act of Union. The Act of Union in 1707 officially merged the kingdoms of England and Scotland, creating the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 72. Who led the parliamentary forces against King Charles I in the English Civil War? A. Oliver Cromwell. B. Thomas Fairfax. C. Robert Devereux. D. John Pym. Answer: A. Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell was a leading figure in the parliamentary forces against King Charles I during the English Civil War. Question 73. Which British explorer is credited with discovering the Hawaiian Islands? A. James Cook. B. Francis Drake. C. Walter Raleigh. D. John Cabot. Answer: A. James Cook. Captain James Cook is credited with the European discovery of the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. Question 74. What significant architectural project was Sir Christopher Wren most famous for after the Great Fire of London? A. Buckingham Palace. B. The Palace of Westminster. C. St. Paul's Cathedral. D. The Tower of London. Answer. C. St. Paul's Cathedral. Sir Christopher Wren is most famous for his design of St. Paul's Cathedral, rebuilt after the Great Fire of London in 1666. Question 75. Name the English king who established the Royal Navy as a permanent institution. A. Edward III. B. Henry V. C. Henry VIII. D. Elizabeth I. Answer. C. Henry VIII. Henry VIII is known for establishing the Royal Navy as a permanent institution, significantly expanding and organizing it. Question 76. Which English scientist is credited with inventing the reflecting telescope in 1668? A. Isaac Newton. B. Robert Hooke. C. John Flamsteed. D. Edmund Halley. Answer. A. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is credited with inventing the reflecting telescope in 1668, a breakthrough in astronomical instruments. Question 77. What major reform was introduced by the Reform Act of 1832? A. Abolition of the slave trade. B. Expansion of the electoral franchise. C. Establishment of the National Health Service. D. Women's suffrage. Answer. B. Expansion of the electoral franchise. The Reform Act of 1832 significantly expanded the electoral franchise and reformed the distribution of parliamentary seats. Question 78. Who was the reigning monarch during the establishment of the Jamestown colony in Virginia? A. Elizabeth I. B. James I. C. Charles I. D. Victoria. Answer. B. James I. The Jamestown colony in Virginia, established in 1607, was founded during the reign of James I. Question 79. Name the treaty that concluded hostilities between Britain and the United States in 1814. A. The Treaty of Ghent. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Treaty of Versailles. D. The Jay Treaty. Answer. A. The Treaty of Ghent. The Treaty of Ghent, signed in 1814, concluded hostilities between Britain and the United States, ending the War of 1812. Question 80. Who was the first Briton to win a Nobel Prize, and for what field? A. Ronald Ross, Medicine. B. Ernest Rutherford, Chemistry. C. Rudyard Kipling, Literature. D. Joseph John Thomson, Physics. Answer. C. Rudyard Kipling, Literature. Rudyard Kipling was the first Briton to win a Nobel Prize, awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1907. Question 81. What was the name of the Parliamentary Act that extended voting rights to women over the age of 21 in 1928? A. The Equal Franchise Act. B. The Representation of the People Act. C. The Women's Suffrage Act. D. The Electoral Reform Act. Answer. B. The Representation of the People Act. The Representation of the People Act in 1928 extended voting rights to all women over the age of 21, equalizing the voting age for women and men. Question 82. Which British king faced the rebellion led by his son, Prince Edward, in 1327? A. Edward II. B. Edward III. C. Henry IV. D. Richard II. Answer: A. Edward II. Edward II faced a rebellion led by his son Prince Edward, who would later become Edward III in 1327. Question 83. What law, passed in 1536, began the dissolution of the monasteries in England? A. The Act of Supremacy. B. The Dissolution of the Monasteries Act. C. The First Act of Dissolution. D. The Monasteries Dissolution Act. Answer: C. The First Act of Dissolution. The First Act of Dissolution in 1536 marked the beginning of the process that led to the dissolution of the monasteries in England. Question 84. Who was the British monarch during the Battle of Agincourt in 1415? A. Edward III. B. Henry V. C. Richard II. D. Henry IV. Answer: B. Henry V. Henry V was the British monarch during the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, a major English victory in the 100 Years' War against France. Question 85. Name the primary legislation that led to the enclosure of common lands in Britain. A. The Enclosure Acts. B. The Common Land Act. C. The Agricultural Revolution Act. D. The Land Reform Act. Answer: A. The Enclosure Acts. The Enclosure Acts were a series of United Kingdom Acts of Parliament that allowed for the enclosure of common lands into individually owned plots, drastically changing the agricultural landscape. Question 86. Which British explorer first circumnavigated the globe in 1577 to 1580? A. James Cook. B. Francis Drake. C. John Cabot. D. Walter Raleigh. Answer: B. Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake was the first British explorer to circumnavigate the globe from 1577 to 1580. Question 87. What major legislative act was passed in response to the Peterloo Massacre of 1819? A. The Six Acts. B. The Public Order Act. C. The Riot Act. D. The Reform Act. Answer: A. The Six Acts. The Six Acts were passed in response to the Peterloo Massacre of 1819 to suppress political dissent and reform meetings. Question 88. Who was known as the Virgin Queen? A. Mary I. B. Elizabeth I. C. Victoria. D. Anne. Answer: B. Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I, who reigned from 1558 to 1603, was known as the Virgin Queen due to her never marrying. Question 89. What was the primary commodity traded by the British East India Company in the 17th century? A. Spices. B. Tea. C. Cotton. D. Opium. Answer: A. Spices. The primary commodity traded by the British East India Company in the 17th century was spices, which were highly valued in Europe. Question 90. Who succeeded Queen Anne and became the first monarch of the House of Hanover? A. George I. B. George II. C. William IV. D. Victoria. Answer: A. George I. George I succeeded Queen Anne in 1714, becoming the first monarch of the House of Hanover in Britain. Question 91. Name the first Prime Minister to reside at 10 Downing Street. A. Sir Robert Walpole. B. William Pitt the Younger, C. Lord North, D. Henry Pelham. Answer: A. Sir Robert Walpole. Sir Robert Walpole is generally regarded as the first Prime Minister to reside at 10 Downing Street, doing so in the early 18th century. Question 92. What was the outcome of the Battle of Waterloo in 1815? A. Napoleon's final defeat. B. A decisive French victory. C. The start of the Napoleonic Wars. D. British withdrawal from continental Europe. Answer: A. Napoleon's final defeat. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 resulted in Napoleon's final defeat, ending his rule as Emperor of the French and leading to his exile to St. Helena. Question 93. Which British law, enacted in 1701, aimed to secure the Protestant succession to the throne? A. The Act of Settlement. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Act of Union. Answer: A. The Act of Settlement. The Act of Settlement, enacted in 1701, aimed to secure the Protestant succession to the British throne, stipulating that only Protestants could become monarch. Question 94. Who was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis of 1956? A. Winston Churchill. B. Anthony Eden. C. Harold Macmillan. D. Clement Attlee. Answer: B. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis of 1956, which saw a failed attempt by Britain, France, and Israel to seize control of the Suez Canal from Egypt. Question 95. Name the act that formally united the kingdoms of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801. A. The Act of Union 1800. B. The Great Reform Act. C. The Union of Crowns. D. The Royal Act. Answer: A. The Act of Union 1800. The Act of Union 1800, taking effect in 1801, formally united the kingdoms of Great Britain and Ireland, creating the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Question 96. What was the purpose of the Clarendon Code enacted in the 1660s? A. To reform agricultural practices. B. To establish the Church of England's supremacy over other Christian denominations. C. To introduce new taxation laws. D. To regulate the press. Answer: B. To establish the Church of England's supremacy over other Christian denominations. The Clarendon Code was a series of laws enacted in the 1660s to enforce the religious uniformity of the Church of England. Question 97. Who was the English monarch at the time of the signing of the Magna Carta? A. Richard I. B. John. C. Henry II. D. Edward I. Answer: B. John. King John of England was the monarch at the time of the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215. Question 98. Which Act of Parliament in 1867 doubled the electorate in Britain by extending the vote to urban working men? A. The Second Reform Act. B. The People's Charter. C. The Representation of the People Act. D. The Electoral Reform Act. Answer: A. The Second Reform Act. The Second Reform Act of 1867 significantly expanded the British electorate by extending the right to vote to many urban working men. Question 99. Name the medieval English king who led the Third Crusade. A. Edward I. B. Richard I. C. Henry II. D. John. Answer: B. Richard I. Richard I, known as Richard the Lionheart, led the Third Crusade in an attempt to reclaim Jerusalem from Saladin. Question 100. What significant Education Act was passed in Britain in 1870? A. The Forster Education Act. B. The Balfour Act. C. The Elementary Education Act. D. The Higher Education Act. Answer A. The Forster Education Act. The Forster Education Act of 1870, also known as the Elementary Education Act, was a landmark piece of legislation that established the framework for schooling of all children between the ages of 5 and 12 in England and Wales.